This segment of DelmarvaLife is sponsored by the law offices of Tunnell Raysor.
Creating an estate plan is tough on its own, but when you have a blended family, that process can become even more complex. You want your spouse cared for, but you also want your kids protected too. More importantly, you want to make sure everyone is on the same page when you're no longer here to tell them your wishes. That's why having a conversation about these decisions now will make a big difference. I sat down with a local attorney to learn what goes into creating an estate plan for your blended family and how you can prevent any disputes down the road. Blended families are more common than ever, but when it comes to estate planning, they face unique challenges. Making sure both spouses and children from previous marriages are protected requires careful planning. That's where folks like Megan DeGraft, associate attorney at Tunnell Raysor, can help.
I think first starting that conversation of what things will look like when the first passes, when the second passes, because there's a natural conflict of interest, especially if people who've gotten remarried have their own set of children. That conflict of interest is just naturally, you want what's best for your kids.
She says conflicts often arise when parents want to protect their children's inheritance. Deciding how assets are split and who manages them can become complicated, especially in households with stepchildren.
Just starting that conversation, and then after that deciding how the assets are going to be split, what that asset distribution is going to look like, who's going to be in charge. Those are some of the challenges that can arise when having a blended family.
But Megan says it's not just about dividing money. It's also about preventing disputes and protecting everyone's interests.
I think there's different strategies in terms of beneficiary designating bank accounts to guarantee your children receive something in the end, and then depending on kind of what your wishes are, if it's not just going to be split evenly, you can think about a trust, because you can make a trust irrevocable when one person passes, so then it can't be changed to guarantee the distributions.
Updating legal documents and naming beneficiaries correctly can prevent unintended outcomes, like assets going to an ex-spouse.
A lot of times, even like before the spouse gets remarried, sometimes spouses that get divorced don't even take the ex-spouse off as a beneficiary. They pass, and then that bank account goes to the ex-spouse, which is naturally probably not their wish. Having that conversation about it and then actually updating your documents to reflect that change in your circumstances is really important, just to ensure that your wishes are still reflected and that they're going to be respected when you pass.
Megan says setting clear plans for healthcare and financial decisions also reduces conflict. Documents like powers of attorney and advanced healthcare directives give guidance for end-of-life care, avoiding disagreements between step-parents and children.
When there's a roadmap in writing from mom or dad saying this is what I want, non-negotiable, it kind of can diffuse potential conflict and keep things hopefully copacetic.
Experts at Tunnell Raysor recommend revisiting your estate plan every 5 to 7 years, or after major life events like marriages, divorces, or the birth of your grandchildren. Reviewing assets and how they're titled ensures your wishes are followed and your children are protected.
It's really important that blended families understand the importance of the way things are titled or assets are titled, and then how to ensure that said kids or whatever wishes you have are respected. And so that's a really big important thing. Just informationally speaking, coming to meet with us and talk about that and learn about it all is helpful in itself.
Because setting up an estate plan with the help of Tunnell Raysor will protect your family, your children, and your legacy for years to come. And Megan tells us that Tunnell Raysor has been on Delmarva for over 130 years. In addition to estate planning for blended families, the law offices also specialize in real estate, personal injury, and criminal defense. Now, to schedule your initial consultation, visit our website and click on what's happening today.